Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Georgia icon, said Tuesday that she will only back one person to replace former Speaker Kevin McCarthy in the top House GOP role, former President Trump. The only candidate for Speaker I am currently supporting is President Donald J. Trump, Greene wrote on X, the platform previously known as Twitter. He has a proven 4-year record as President of the United States of America. In a lengthy post, she rattled off a series of promises that Trump will keep if he is elected to the speakership, including ending the war in Ukraine, securing the border, and ending the politically weaponized government. He received a record number of Republican votes of any Republican presidential candidate. We can make him speaker and then elect him president, Greene continued. He will make America great again, in cap locks. Rep. Matt Gaetz led the effort to oust McCarthy from his leadership role Tuesday afternoon after months of threatening to do so. The House voted to take away his speaker gavel in a 216 to 210 vote, with all Democrats and 8 Republicans joining forces to remove him. While Greene did not vote in favor of ousting McCarthy, she is now joining a handful of Republicans who are calling on the former president, who is also the GOP frontrunner in the 2024 race for the White House, to be the next speaker. McCarthy also said Tuesday that he will not run for the position again. Representative Troy Nehls, Republican of Texas, announced late Tuesday that he will file paperwork to nominate Trump for the role. Representative George Stube also said he would back Trump for speaker. Despite a handful of Republicans now saying they want to see Trump as speaker, he may not be eligible to take the gavel under current GOP conference rules. According to Rule 26 of the House Republican Conference Rules, a member of the Republican leadership shall step aside if indicted for a felony for which a sentence of 2 or more years of imprisonment may be imposed. Trump is currently facing dozens of felony counts across numerous states and federal court cases. However, House Republicans could not also vote to change the rule. The Speaker of the House is now required to be a sitting member of Congress, but there is no precedent for someone holding the role without being a lawmaker. Before Republicans won back the House in the 2022 midterms, Trump said he would not be interested in taking the top job. No, I think that is not something I wanted. A lot of people bring it up. It's brought up all the time. He said late last March, no, it's not something I want to do. I want to look at what's happening, and then we're going to do something else. No, it's not something I'd be interested in. So, let's say, for the sake of argument, that whoever watches this is some big, giant, huge Trump supporter. They love him. They think he is as Ramaswamy says, the greatest president of the 21st century, right? What logic is there to plucking the person who undisputably is the front runner for the Republican nomination in 2024, and months before voting is scheduled to take place, putting him in this role that if he were to take it, well, first of all, he's not even interested in it, but if he were to take it, would mess up his campaign schedule, add some whole other responsibility on top of what he's already trying to do, which is face these legal charges while also running for president. It's I'm not kidding. Sometimes I wonder if these people play dumb on purpose, because it's like if you're a Trump supporter, which is what Greene says she is, why would you want him to take a job that, first of all, he says he doesn't want, secondly, would just mess up his campaigning for president by having an extra responsibility on his back? What's the logic of that? What's the purpose of drafting someone for a job that they not only don't want, but while they're trying to run for something else? Doesn't make sense. Unless it's some kind of operation where they actually don't want him for this position and they're just like trying to stroke his ego, or they do, but then again, it's like it still doesn't make any sense. Like it would make sense for Democrats, for example, who don't want Trump to run for president, say, oh yeah, have him as speaker, yeah, sure, because then their goal of like not wanting him to be on the ballot, not wanting him to be president again, you know, all of that would be given a lot more weight if he takes some other government position. He can't be speaker and president at the same time, after all. But man, Greene is just what a strange thing. Like you have so many Republicans in the House, and out of over 170 of however many there are, this big conference of dozens and dozens of people, you can't think of anyone to pick besides a person who not only has never served in Congress, but someone who's running for something else. Man, and it's like it's not even just her. There's multiple of them that are pushing for him to run for speaker or at least be considered for speaker, and he doesn't want the job. Like I thought the people who kept saying Michelle Obama will run for president were crazy because she kept saying I'm not interested in having that position. I don't want it. I don't want to take this. But this is even more extreme because you have a former president who's trying to do something that hasn't been done in over 100 years, which is get a non-consecutive second term, who is leading in all the polls, is very possibly going to win every state in the primary. And you're going to say, okay, well, instead of you campaigning and making sure you maintain your lead, let's just, again, take you out of this race and now have you be speaker for the, and I like how she actually says he'll be speaker and then get elected president. How can he be speaker, which is a week by week job of, several days at the very least, while also running for it's at least with Carrie Lake running for Senate, I said, okay, she's doing this because she's not entirely sure if Trump will pick her for VP, which I don't think he will. I think he'll probably go with no one. But Greene is really just out of her mind for this. I want President Donald J. Trump to get back in the presidency, but before that I want him to serve 15 or 16 months as speaker so that he can have less time to dedicate to this other thing that he's trying to get. Just all goofy and wacky. And like I said, I was no fan of McCarthy at all, but I'm definitely missing him when things like this are floated.